Hey guys, Lori here. So today we're going to be talking all about getting testimonials, before and after pics, basically social proof. Why do we need to get it? Why is it important? What do we do with it? What do we have to get permission for? All the things. So I'm going to be totally transparent and say, this is probably one of the areas where I am the weakest because I get so excited to start a job. I absolutely will be halfway through the decluttering process and I'll go, oh, snap, I forgot to take a picture. Or at the end, I will wrap up with a client and they will give me like a great verbal testimonial and I will just say, thank you. I'm so happy. But I forget to ask them to leave a Google review or could you write that down so that we could share it as social proof? And I have to say, if there is one area for improvement in my own business, that is something that I wish I were better at and more consistent with. So I am going to tell you and hopefully start to take my own advice on some of these things because I do think it's really important. So first of all, why do we need social proof? I think for a lot of people, or actually I know for a lot of people, we like to know that we are working with people who are trusted and qualified resources, whether that is somebody you're bringing in your home for renovation or somebody who's going to be cutting your hair or anything that you're going to be doing and investing time and resources. Or I think we want to know like that we are spending our time and investing in people and things that are going to give us a good ROI. And so there is something to be said for that social proof. Now, also in our business as professional organizers, it is a very visual business, especially when you're talking about decluttering a lot of spaces that have these big like transformations. So you're talking about kitchens, closets, garages, playrooms, these things that go from like cluttered messes to this beautiful evolved space. And so people, we think logically, but we feel with pictures, right? And so that feeling of calm, that feeling of peace, that feeling of organization that comes from looking at these things are really what drive the emotion of people going, oh, I want that or I need that in my life. And so there's a lot of science behind it. That's not my background per se, but I can tell you that even for myself, when I'm on the receiving end looking at doing something in my own home, when I can see the results of what was to what can be, that possibility, that gives me hope and inspiration. And then I'm more likely to want to pull the trigger and move forward. So you are doing, it's not braggy, which I think is what happens to a lot of us is we feel like, oh, we're being braggadocious. And it's not. It's about painting this picture of what can be for your community out there, your potential clients. Show them this is within grasp for you. Now, that being said, I always like to be really respectful when it comes to taking client before and after photos. I actually had a situation, a story, and this was probably, I don't know, about 5 years ago where somebody had come to me. They came through a referral. I didn't know them, but it was like a friend of a friend. And I went over for the consultation and it was a space where it was in her basement and she was looking to streamline. They were eventually going to be downsizing and there was years of stuff. And I normally almost always ask, can I take before pictures? But I guess in that moment, I just had like a brain freeze and I took my phone out just to take some pictures for myself. I wasn't even planning on posting them, but in that moment, I did not ask her permission, which again, I 99% of the time always do. This was at 1% of the time that I didn't do it. And she was very uncomfortable. I saw it. And as soon as I snapped the picture, I was like, oh, is it okay that I took pictures? And you could see the look on her eye and she didn't know how to respond. And I said, I can delete this. I am so sorry. I immediately rectified the situation. I said, I was doing it just for my own purposes. I wasn't going to post them or share them, but I apologize for not asking it. And I deleted them and I showed her I deleted them. Most people don't care, but occasionally you get somebody that takes their clutter very seriously or personally, and they're very private about it. And so it's always a best practice to ask permission before you just take any photos at a client's home. Once you've gotten that clearance, I think it's okay. I don't think you have to ask them every single time, but once you've gotten that release from them that, yeah, I could take pictures, then it's okay. And sometimes you'll have people that are like, you could take a picture for yourself, but I don't want you posting it on social media. I also don't tag people so that I'm not showcasing their disorganization. I don't ever want somebody to feel like I'm using that or their clutter or disorganization to boost my business and my brand. But I do want to, if some people, I'll ask them, is it okay? This has been a great before and after picture, this great transformation. Can I share it? And more clients than not are like, absolutely. Some people are like, you can tag me. And sometimes people will do it themselves. They will show. But I think that is something that you should do. You should take those pictures, assuming you have client permission, and then just have them even in your own digital library, so that you can reflect back on that. I also like to have before and after pictures that I can show my clients. I've had many a situation where I have people that, especially that are chronically disorganized and feel very defeated about the lack of progress that they're going, because maybe we have to go a little bit slower, takes a little bit longer. They feel like they take one step forward, two steps back. And I love to be able to have that before, even though you might not be able to see the progress that we've made, I'm going to show you. And I can like whip out a picture from our first session and they can actually visually see we've come so far. And that has been really helpful and motivating. Think about if you're ever on a weight loss journey and you're looking at yourself day in and day out, and you are not seeing that progress. But let's say you've been working really hard to eat well and exercise, and then you take a picture, and then 3 months down the road, you look at where you were and you're like, wow, I really have made progress. And there's something motivating and encouraging about that. So even if you're not doing it for that social proof for your business, like outside, it's such a great tool to be able to have for your existing clients that you're working with. Now, again, testimonials, great. I love getting written testimonials. Google is great because people are always looking on Google. Adding them to your website and a testimonials page or even on the bottom in a scroll is great. Just sharing them on your social media feed is great. So just again, letting people know that you've worked with other people and this is the feedback that you're getting, that you're kind, that you're compassionate, that you're patient, that you worked magic, that you did all of these things that people that might want to hire you are thinking, this is what I need in my life. So again, very important. It's a good thing for you to be able to have as you are building out your brand, growing into different areas. So whether you are using it, like I said, internally with your clients, externally on your website, social media, where have you, if you can take before and after pictures, get those written testimonials, or you can get audio testimonials. I use this. There's a app called SpeakPipe, and you can leave an audio testimonial. So I am trying to get better at doing them for the podcast because that's something that's an audio platform where people are listening. And I think having that is in a SpeakPipe form has been really helpful. But there's a lot of different ways that you can get that. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. And we'll be back with another episode next week. If you have any questions, if you're looking to build your business, if you're stuck in a specific area, we've got lots of different ways that we can work with you, one-on-one mentoring, group cohorts, you name it. Just head on over to our website, simply the letter B like boy organized, and I'm here for it. So until next week, I'm Lori Palau. Peace out.